Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. Let's continue with our study of Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam in our Bhakti Vaibhava course. Let's begin by chanting Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishram Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Uddama bhava pishuna malavalguhasa Vridavaloka nihato madano piyasam Sammunya chapamajaha Pramadoktamasta yasyendriyam vimathitum kuhakayana shekuhu Bhavadvidha bhagavata sthirtha bhuta swayam vibho Tirthi kurvanti tirthani swantasthena Gadabhrita Tulayamalavenapi na swargam na punarbhavam Bhagavat sangi sangasya martyanam kim utashishaha Tiraskrita vipralabdha shapta kshipta hatapi Nasyatat pratikurvanti tadbhakta prabhavopi Punascha bhuyat bhagavatanante rati prasangas chatadashrayeshu mahatsuyamyam upayami shrishtim maitrastu sarvatra namo dvijebhya. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We are going to continue from verse number 19 of the 12th chapter entitled Birth of Maharaj Parikshit. This is from the first canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Brahmana Uchuhu. Partha Prajavita Sakshat Ikshvakur Iva Manavaha Brahmanyah Satyasandhascha Ramo Dasharathir Yatha. We saw how upon the birth of Maharaj Parikshit, Maharaj Yudhishthir held a great festival where the proper samskaras, the purificatory procedures were performed for the welfare of Maharaj Parikshit. The qualified Brahmanas were offered suitable charity and they were pleased. They offered their blessings upon Maharaj Parikshit. And Maharaj Yudhishthir inquired from the assembled qualified Brahmanas whether Maharaj Parikshit would be a worthy descendant of the great dynasty of Maharaj Puru. Will he perform glorious activities befitting the glorious dynasty? That was verse number 18. Maharaj Yudhishthir inquired from the Brahmanas. These Brahmanas were very well versed with the Vedas, and they had also studied Jyotish Shastra, the science of astrology. So when Maharaj Yudhishthir inquired from the Brahmanas about the future activities of Maharaj Parikshit, the Brahmanas responded, and it is plural, Brahmana Uchuhu. Just like when there is multiple gopis speaking, Gopya Uchuhu. When there is one person, then Arjuna Uvacha, like that. So Brahmana Uchuhu, because several of the Brahmanas, qualified Brahmanas who had assembled, they are saying, and the translation and purports are by our beloved founder Acharya, Nitya Leela Pravishtha, Om Vishnupad, Ashtottara Shata, Śrīmad Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. Shla Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: the learned Brahmanas said, O Yudhishthir Maharaj, son of Pritha, son of Kunti Devi, this child Parikshit shall be exactly like King Ikshvaku, son of Manu, in maintaining all those who are born. Prajavita Sakshat Ikshvakur Iva Manava. In maintaining the Praja, in maintaining the citizens, this child Parikshit will be as good as Maharaj Ikshvaku. As for following the Brahminical principles is concerned, especially in being true to his promise, Brahmanya Satya Sandhascha, about how he will be protective of the Brahmanas, how he will respect the Brahmanas, how he will protect the Brahminical culture. And Satya Sandha means how he will be true to his word. Jaan jaye par vachan na jaye. Like that. How he will be true to his word. Whether he will be honorable king or no. Well, when it comes to his truthfulness, Satya Sandha, he will be like Ramo Dasharathi Yatha. Yatha means just like. He will be like Dasharathi Ram. Because there are at least 3 Rams. There is Parashuram, there is Rohini Nandan Balaram, and there is Dasharathi Ram. So he will be like Dasharathi Ram. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, among the wielders of weapon, I am Ram. So some acharyas explain that that is Lord Parshuram. Because Lord Parshuram, he fought against Kartavir Arjuna and his army, his sons, and then he traveled all around the world 21 times, defeating all the Kshatriyas who had become very sinful. So when it comes to fighting, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam describes no enemy could stand in the presence of Lord Parshuram. When he would fight, he would kill the enemies at the speed of the mind. With your mind, you just have to imagine all of them are dead, and all of them are dead. At the speed of the mind, that's how quickly he would kill. And towards the end of the day, when Lord Parshuram would get a little tired, he would kill the enemies at the speed of the mind, at the speed of the wind. At the speed of the wind. You know, when we have these hurricanes, there are winds that blow at speed of more than 120, 140 miles an hour. So wind can blow very fast. Just like a wind sweeps through, a tornado or a hurricane just sweeps through a town. That's how quickly Parshuramji would kill his enemies. So, among the wielders of weapons, I am Ram. Some commentators say that refers to Parshuram. Some commentators say no, that refers to Lord Ramchandra, Dasharathi Ram. Because Lord Ramachandra, Ranaranga Dhiram, he is very powerful in battle, unshakable. We say Ram Ban. Ram Ban means something that never goes in vain. When Karadhushan attacked with 14,000 Rakshasas, each Rakshas was a Maharathi. Imagine. Each of those Rakshas was a Maharathi. And Lord Ramchandra told Lakshman that you just guard the cave of Sita. He requested Sita Devi to enter a cave for her safety and protection. He told Lakshman to guard the cave. And Lord Ramchandra single-handedly fought with 14,000 Rakshasas. And in less than 1 hour, they were all killed. It is said that Lord Ramchandra's hands were moving so fast that no one could see his right hand. It was like a wheel just spinning so fast. And it never missed, even one arrow. Every arrow hit the bullseye. Every arrow hit the target. Lord Ramchandra. So some say that among the wielders of weapon, I am Lord Ram, Kodandadhari Ram. Kodandadhari Ram. He who holds the powerful bow and arrow. But our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas have a different take on this verse of Bhagavad Gita. Among the wielders of weapon, I am Ram. They say it neither refers to Lord Parshuram, nor does it refer to Lord Ramachandra, Dasharathi Ram. Our Gaudiya Acharyas say that as Krishna was describing his opulences, Krishna was thinking of his brother Dauji, Balramji. And he suddenly felt great separation from Balramji, who was not present on the battlefield at that time. Balramji had gone on pilgrimage. And Krishna was thinking, so many battles we fought together. All the battles against Jarasan we fought together. Kansa, Chanor, Mushtik we fought together. Kuvalaya Feed we fought together. But where is my brother? Where is Balram? Where is Dauji? Krishna was feeling separation, and his separation from his brother, Krishna said, among the wielders of weapons, I am Ram. It refers to his brother Balram. So you see how different commentators, different acharyas have their own bhav and they have their own understanding. Prati shloke prati akshare nana arthaka hai. Krishna tulya bhagavata vibhu sarvashray. So here the Brahmanas are saying that Parishit Maharaj will have the quality of being truthful, being protective of the Brahminical culture, just like Lord Ramchandra, Dasharathi Ram. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada ji explains that Praja refers to all living beings who have taken ja means Janma, who have taken birth in that province. And it is a duty of the king to protect everyone. Not just human beings, but even the animals should be given due protection. Further down in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita 4.7, there is a reference about teachings of Lord Krishna to the sun god Vivaswan. Evam Vivasvate Yogam. And such lessons are transferred by disciplic succession, Prabhupada says, as it was done to the sun god Vivaswan by Krishna and by sun god to his son Manu. So in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, it is described the Matsya avatar, and Matsya avatar took place during the time of Maharaj Satyavat. And this Satyavat Maharaj, he was born in his next life as the Manu. He was born as Manu, and he was born as the son of sun god. He was born as the son of Vivaswan. Vivaswan is sun god, Surya Dev. And the son of Surya Dev, the son of Vivaswan, the sun god, is Manu. And this Manu is called Vaivasvat Manu because he is the son of Vivaswan. So Vivaswan is son Vaivasvat Manu, and Vaivasvat Manu son was Ikshvaku Maharaj. So from Vaivasvat Manu to Maharaj Ikshvaku, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was transmitted by Guru Parampara. Evam Parampara Praptam. The Rajarshis would transmit the knowledge through Parampara. There are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma, and the Manu referred to herein is the 7th Manu, who is one of the Prajapatis. They create Praja, they create Progeny. And he's a son of the sun god. He is known as Vaivasvat Manu because he's son of Vivaswan. And Vaivasvat Manu had 10 sons, and Maharaj Ikshvaku was one of them. So you understand? Lord Krishna gave knowledge to Surya Dev, who is Vivaswan. His son is Vaivasvat Manu, and his son is Maharaj Ikshvaku. Bhagavad Gita came down by disciplic succession from Maharaj Ikshvaku. But in course of time, the chain was broken by unscrupulous persons. This is very important. How the knowledge gets lost, how the parampara system gets broken. It gets broken by unscrupulous persons. And we have a very beautiful parampara coming from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. And we have to be very careful that we remain true to our Guru Parampara. We have to hear the Vani of our Acharyas. We have to read the commentaries of our Acharyas. And we have to study under the guidance of our Acharyas, our Shastra. And when we speak, when we behave, we have to behave in a way that our Acharyas will be pleased. At all times, we should know that Guru and Krishna are watching us. They are watching us because they care about us. It is a very important siddhanta, very important principle, my dear friends. Please listen carefully to this statement. whatever we invest in Krishna consciousness, that is exactly what we are going to get. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante, tam sathaiva bhajamyaham. Whatever we do, we will get results accordingly. So to repeat the statement, whatever we put in, whatever we invest in our Krishna consciousness, that is what we will get. If we invest sincerity, if we invest quality bhajan, quality time, that is what we will get. Krishna will make our Krishna consciousness, Krishna will make our realizations, Krishna will make our realizations very pure. If we invest in Krishna consciousness with purity, with sincerity, with devotion and dedication. If we are insincere in the practice of Krishna consciousness, nobody is watching, it's okay. I can slacken. I can become a little loose in my practice of Krishna consciousness. I can dilute it. I can hide things. I can do what I'm not supposed to do. If we are insincere, if we are reckless, if we are careless, then that is exactly what we will get. It is a fact that Krishna reciprocates with our sincerity. And Krishna reciprocates with our insincerity also. So whatever we invest in Krishna consciousness, that is what we will get. If we are unscrupulous, if we are not true to Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, then this is what happens. The entire parampara is lost in due course of time. So it's a reminder that in this Kali Yuga, in this material world, to preserve anything pure, to preserve anything holy and sacred, we have to be very careful. If we have property, how carefully we protect it. We secure it in a stable bank. We don't put our money in any bogus bank, isn't it? We try to go to a nice, stable bank, good reputation. It has been around for many years, and we put our money there. We open our account in such a bank. We protect our money with a strong password so that there is no security breach. Do we give that password out to anybody? No, we don't. We keep it because it is precious. And every so often we may even change the password if there is a threat to the security. We may change the password. Even at home, when we keep money, we keep it hidden. People buy lockers and so many things. So we protect anything that is precious. Similarly, my dear friends, this divine knowledge that is coming to us through our parampara, the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya parampara, it is priceless, it is precious, and we must preserve it. We must honor it, and we must carefully guard it. Otherwise, there will be dilution, and the parampara, entire parampara, is at a risk of getting broken. So the parampara was broken. The parampara of Maharaj Vivaswan, the sun god, was broken. Therefore, Prabhupada writes, therefore, it again had to be taught to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So Krishna re-established Dharma Samsthapanarthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. Then Srila Prabhupada ji in the purport gives some information about Maharaj Ikshvaku. He is one of the sons of Vaibhava Manu. He had 100 sons. He prohibited meat eating. His son Shashada became the next king after the death of Maharaj Ikshvaku. Manu Maharaj, the Manu mentioned in this verse as the father of Maharaj Ikshvaku, is the 7th Manu. And his name is Vaibhava Manu. So right now, today, that we are existing At this current time, December 20th, or in India, December 21st, 2022, we are in the seventh Manu. Seventh Manu. And this is the 28th cycle. 28th cycle. There are 71 Divya Yuga cycle. One Divya Yuga is Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali. There are 71 such cycles in each Manu. And this is the 20th cycle going on in the seventh Manu. The Manu who is called as Vaivasvat Manu. In the previous millennium, this Vaivasvat Manu was Maharaj Satyavrat, to whom Matsya Avatar appeared. So now it is the seventh Manu, Vaivasvat Manu, and it is his 28th Divya Yuga cycle. He will last for 71 such Divya Yuga cycles. It is the 28th Divya Yuga cycle going on. So this is Vaivasvat Manu, and he is the son of Vivaswan, sun god. Prabhupada writes, the Lord's incarnation Matsya Avatar, the gigantic fish, advented during the beginning of Vaivasvat Manu's reign. Beginning means before he became Vaivasvat Manu, when he was Satyavrat Muni. This is mentioned in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Then Prabhupada writes about Lord Ramchandra. It's very beautiful. You should read. There are 2 paragraphs, and Prabhupada in 2 paragraphs gives the entire very short summary study of Lord Ramchandra's activities. Charitam Raghunathasya Shata Koti Pravistaram Ekaikam Aksharam Pumsam Mahapatakanashanam. The Ramayana, the Charitra of Lord Ramchandra, is Shata Koti, 100 crore verses, means millions and millions of verses actually. When it is discussed in Satyalok, in Brahmalok, Lord Brahma discusses it with his followers. It has got crores and crores of verses. What we have on this earth planet today is only 24,000 verses. But there is no need to feel sorry that we don't have the full Ramayana, because Ekaikam Aksharam Pumsam Mahapatakanashanam. One akshar of this Ramayana, one akshar of Valmiki Ramayana, has the potency to destroy the greatest sins that we have committed. Charitam Raghunathasya Shata Koti Pravistaram Ekaikam Aksharam Pumsam Mahapatakanashanam. There is Pap, and then there is Mahapap. Mahapap are certain sins which are considered to be extremely sinful, like rape, murder, and there is very, very severe punishment for these sinful activities. They are called Mahapata. But if we study Ramayana, if we read Ramayana, it has got such potency that our hearts become purified. Valmiki was a cold-blooded murderer. He was a robber. And just by chanting the holy name of Shri Ram, 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 he became a great Maharshi. He became Valmiki Muni. So therefore, it is said that Charitam Raghunathasya Shata Koti Pravistaram Ekaikam Aksharam Pumsam Mahapatakanashanam. The heart becomes purified. Chetodarapanam Arjanam. And then our tendency to commit sins is gone. We become pure. And then once we take to pure devotional service, then we surrender to Krishna and all the sins are gone. Sakrideva prapannoyam tavasmiti sayachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami edubhratamam sarvadharman paritejya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhya mokshayishyami ma sucham. So Lord Ramchandra's story is described here by Srila Prabhupada very beautifully. In the interest of time, we will not read that, but all of you should read it. Text 20. Esha data sharanyascha yatha anushinara shibihi Yasho Vitanita Swanam Daushantir Eva Jajvanam. The Brahmanas continue to prophesize, this child will be a munificent donor of charity and protector of surrendered, like the famous king Shibi of the Ushinara country. And he will expand the name and fame of his family like Bharat Maharaj, the son of Maharaj Dushyanta. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that a king becomes famous and popular by acts of charity, performing yajna, giving protection to the surrendered souls. Further down in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, Maharaj Shibi, the king of Ushinara, was an intimate friend of Maharaj Yayati. Maharaj Shibi was aware of the heavenly planet where he was to be transferred after his death. And the description of this heavenly planet is given in the Mahabharata. Maharaj Shibi was so charitably disposed that he wanted to give over his acquired position in the heavenly kingdom to Maharaj Yayati, who was his friend. But he did not accept it. So see, Maharaj Shibi was so great that he already knew his next destination. After he dies on this earth as a king, he is going to be transferred to heavenly planets. He was so great. He knew. The king of heaven, Indradev, once took the shape of a pigeon hunter, a bird of prey. And Agnidev, the fire god, took the form of a pigeon. So Indradev became a eagle who eats pigeons, and Agnidev became a pigeon. And they came. The pigeon came and took shelter of Maharaj Shibi and said, please protect me. This bird of prey eagle is chasing after me. Please protect me. And as we were reading, it is the duty of a king to give protection to anyone who has surrendered. So immediately, Maharaj Shibi said, all right, don't worry, you pigeon, I will protect you. You have taken my shelter, I will protect you. Because see, the king is a representative of Lord Vishnu. And it is the nature of Bhagwan, Lord Vishnu, to give protection to the surrendered souls. So therefore, the king also has to give protection to the surrendered souls. So immediately Shibi Maharaj promised the pigeon, I will protect you. Just then the eagle came and said, but I claim this bird as my food. I was already chasing. You don't have a right to interfere in the workings of Mother Nature. As a pigeon, I am a bird of prey and I have to eat the flesh of others. So you cannot deprive me of my food. But Maharaj Shibi said, I have promised to give protection to this pigeon. So I will arrange for some piece of flesh for you to eat. Do not worry. There are people who eat meat and I will ask them to give you some meat. But the eagle said to King Shibi that, no, I will not accept that. Why? Because this pigeon is the food that I claim. I was about to catch this pigeon. So it is a food that I have procured. Why should I accept some pieces of flesh thrown to me by other people? No, I would like to eat this pigeon. So then Maharaj Shibi tried to negotiate, but the eagle would not listen. Finally, Maharaj Shibi said, all right, I will give you equivalent weight of flesh from my own body. Is that okay? So the eagle said, okay, that's okay. So Maharaj Shibi took a sharp knife and he started cutting slices of flesh, muscle from his own thigh. Why? Because he had given protection, promise of protection to the pigeon. And he kept a balance, tarazu. On one side of the scale, he kept the pigeon. On the other side, he started putting chunks of his own muscle, his own flesh, cutting it and putting it. No anesthesia. Just like that. But as we know, these were demigods. They were not ordinary birds. So the pigeon could not be outweighed. Maharaj started cutting more and more flesh, but still the pigeon remained heavier. Finally, Maharaj said, I am willing to die to keep my word, to keep my promise. Oh eagle, you can eat me. I will sit on the scale. And he himself got ready to sit on the scale. Just then the pigeon transformed into Agni Dev and the eagle transformed into Indradev. And they said, Maharaj, we were testing you. You passed the test. You are true to your word. You are uncompromising. So that was Maharaj Shibi. So the Brahmanas are saying, as far as giving protection to the Praja is concerned, he will be like Shibi Maharaj. And as far as his fame and name is concerned, Yash, he will be like Maharaj Bharat, the son of Dushyant. Dushyantir Iva Jajvanam. So here in the purport, Prabhupada writes something about Dushyanti Bharat. Let's read. There are many Bharats in the history, of which Bharat, the brother of Lord Ram, is there. There is Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrughna. So that Bharat is there. He is Dasharati Bharat. Then there is Bharat, the son of Maharaj Rishabhadev, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maharaj Rishabhadev had 100 sons. Eldest was Bharat Maharaj. That is the second Bharat. And the third Bharat is the son of Maharaj Dushyant. This earth planet is known as Bharat because of the son of Maharaj Rishabhadev. Bharat, the son of Maharaj Rishabhadev. He is the reason why this earth is called Bharatvarsha. Not because of this Dushyanti Bharat, and not because of Dasharati Bharat, but because of Bharat Maharaj, the son of Maharaj Rishabhadev. Before that, before Bharat Maharaj, the son of Maharaj Rishabhadev appeared, this earth planet was known as Ilavati Varsha. Ilavati Varsha. But after the son of Maharaj Rishabhadev, Bharat Maharaj became the king. Ilavati Varsha became known as Bharat Varsha. Prabhupada right. However, the son of Maharaj Dushyanta, who was also named Bharat, was also very important. Prabhupada right. He was not less important. He is the son of the famous beauty Shakuntala. Maharaj Dushyanta fell in love with Shakuntala in the forest, and Bharat was born. After that, Maharaj Dushyanta forgot his wife Shakuntala by the curse of Karnva Muni, and the child Bharat was brought up in the forest by his mother Shakuntala. Even in his childhood, Bharat was so powerful that he challenged the lions and elephants in the forest and would fight with them like little children play with cats and dogs. Because of the boys becoming so strong, the rishis in the forest called him Sarva Damana, one who is able to do Daman, control, subdue everyone. Sarva Damana. Prabhupada writes that in Mahabharata Ādi Parva, a full description of this Dushyanti Bharat is given. The Pandavas or the Kurus are sometimes addressed as Bharat, due to being born in the dynasty of famous Maharaj Bharat, the son of King Dushyanta. So the Pandavas come in the line of Maharaj Dushyanta and Maharaj Bharat, Dushyanti Bharat. So they are also called as Bharat, the descendants of Bharat. It refers to this Dushyanti Bharat. When Krishna calls Arjuna as Bharat, can someone tell a verse from Bhagavad Gita where Arjuna is addressed as Bharat? Raise your hand. Balam balavatam chaham kamaraga. Balam balavatam chaham Kamaraga Vivarjitam, Dharma Aviruddha Bhuteshu, Kamosmit, Bharatarshava. Oh, best among the descendants of Bharatarshava. Sanatan Nitai Prabhu, go ahead.
Matra Spashastu Konte, Shitoshana Suk Dukkha, Agama Painonite, Tamste Diksha Bharata.
Very good. So that refers to the Pandavas who are coming in the line of Dushyanti Bharat. Text 21. So he will be famous like Dushyanti Bharat. Our Parishit Maharaj will be. That is a prediction. Verse 21. Dhanvinam Agnir Esha Tulyascharjunayor Dvayo Hutasha Ivadur Dharshaha Samudra Ivadustaraha. Amongst great bowmen, Parishit Maharaj will be as good as Arjun. He will be as irresistible, Durdarshaha, as fire, and he will be as unsurpassable, Dustaraha. He will be as unsurpassable as Samudra, the ocean. So this is the description of the prediction of the future activities of Maharaj Parikshit. Prabhupada ji writes, in history there are two famous Arjuns. There is Kartavya Arjun, with whom Ravan had fought, and Ravan was defeated by Kartavya Arjun, and he is the one who ultimately Lord Parshuram killed along with his sons. Then the other Arjun is the Pandav Arjun. Do you know of any other Arjun? Raise your hand. One is Kartavya Arjun, one is Pandav Arjun. Yes, Shama Vallabhi Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Krishna's Gopa's friend is Arjun.
Yes, very nice. One of the principal Gopas, Dwadasha Gopas, one of them is Arjun, like Sudam, Shridam, Stoka Krishna, Madhu Mangal, Ujjwal, like that. Very good. So here it is said that one is Kartavya Arjun, the king of Haya, and the other is the grandfather of the child Parikshit. Parikshit Maharaj, his father was Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu's father was Arjun, the Pandav Arjun. Shamchandra was saying Arjun Sakha. Yes. Arjun Sakha. In Vrindavan, the friends are called Sakha. So, Shridam Sakha, Sudam Sakha, and Arjun Sakha. This is the Vrindavan Arjun, friend of Krishna. Arjun Sakha. Arjun Sakha can also mean Krishna. Because Arjun Sakha, the friend of Arjun, that is Krishna. Like that. So here, Prabhupada is saying that both the Arjuns are famous for their bowmanship. And child Parikshit is foretold to be equal to both of them, particularly in fighting. Then Prabhupada writes a summary of the activities of Pandav Arjun, and it is very interesting to read, very nice. Several paragraphs Srila Prabhupada has written. I will simply point out few important points about Pandav Arjun. We have Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev, son of Kunti. So first of all, what I really like about Pandav Arjun is that he was born on Gaur Purnima. He was born on the in the month of Falgun, on the Falguni Purnima, which is Gaur Purnima. He married 4 wives: Draupadi, Subhadra, Chitrangada, and Ulupi. And he had 4 sons. He had one son from each of them. From Draupadi, Arjun had Shrutakirti. From Subhadra, Arjun had Abhimanyu. From Chitrangada, he had Babruvahan. And from Ulupi, he had Iravan. He was a very sincere student. He was Gudakesh. He conquered even sleep. And he used to practice at night his bowmanship. And he became the favorite disciple of his Gurudev, Dronacharya. So much so that Dronacharya vowed that Arjun is such a humble, submissive, sincere, talented disciple that I will make him the world's best archer. And Arjun became. Arjun met Ulupi at Haridwar, and he was attracted by the girl belonging to Nagalok. And thus, Iravan was born. Similarly, he met Chitrangada, daughter of the king of Manipur. And thus, Babruvahan was born. So, in our International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON, there is a very great Vaishnava Acharya, one of our Guru Vargas, who is a direct descendant of Pandav Arjun. Does anyone know the name? He's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And he's a direct descendant of Arjun, Pandav Arjun. Yes, Narhari Dev Prabhu. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, are you referring to Shrutakirti Prabhu? Shrutakirti Prabhu, the disciple of Srila Prabhupada?
Shrutakirti Prabhu was born in America. I am saying that there is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada who comes in the line of descendants of Arjun, Pandav Arjun.
Sorry.
Same family lineage.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Shrutakirti Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple, is also a very great, exalted Vaishnava. So, in the chat box, Aparna Mataji and Mridula Mataji, they have written His Holiness Srila Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami Maharaj. Yes, he is a descendant, direct descendant of Pandav Arjun. Here it is said that Arjun met Chitrangada, daughter of the king of Manipur, and thus Babruvahan was born. And in the same line, Srila Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj appeared to assist Srila Prabhupada in his mission. And he preached extensively in Manipur. Srila Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj preached all over the world, specifically to the intelligentsia, specifically to the scientists and the different professors in different universities all over the world, bringing them closer to Krishna, convincing them that this Krishna consciousness movement, started by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and propagated by Jagat Guru Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, is a scientific movement. It is not a sentimental movement. It's a scientific movement. It is based on sound spiritual science, and it can be tested by any scientific method. What is science? Science means 4 things. There is observation, there is hypothesis, there is experimentation, and there is inference. This is science. This is a scientific method. Newton saw the apple fell from the apple tree, fell to the ground. That's an observation. From that observation, you come up with a hypothesis. Maybe there is some force in the earth that pulls things towards itself. That's a hypothesis. And then you experiment and you prove it. You drop your phone, that also falls. You take a pen and you leave it, that pen also falls. You take a mouse and you drop it, it also falls. So by experimentation, you are repeatedly getting what you had hypothesized. So there is observation, there is hypothesis, there is experimentation. By experimentation, you prove your hypothesis, and that becomes the inference. So then the conclusion is that there is a gravitational force in earth that pulls things towards itself. That's the conclusion, that's the inference. This is science. Observation, hypothesis, experimentation, inference. Even in medical circles, you see that some patients have diabetes and their blood sugar is high. You see in normal people, when the blood sugar goes high, there is a release of insulin by the pancreas in the body. So you hypothesize maybe insulin has got an effect on the blood sugar level. It reduces the blood sugar level. So then you experiment. You give insulin shots and you see what happens to the blood sugar before and after. And it comes down. Then you infer that yes, insulin is useful in reducing the blood sugar concentration of a person. That's conclusion. So this is science. And Krishna consciousness can be put through this rigorous scientific analysis, scientific process. And it is a scientific process. You are suffering, we are suffering from lust, anger, envy, greed, pride, false ego. There is so much quarrel and hypocrisy in this world. These are the real problems of this world. Kama esha krodha esha rajaguna samudbhava. And if we take to Krishna consciousness properly, if we follow this process, the Shastras say that Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. By doing Shri Krishna Sankirtan, your heart becomes purified. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavati uttama shloka bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Shrunvatam swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana ridandasto hi abhadrani vidhunoti suhrisatam. By studying Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam attentively, receptively, by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, our hearts become purified. Pavanam pavanebhyopi Harer Namaiva Kevalam. Shastra says. So we can actually do this experimentation. Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra the way we are supposed to chant attentively, hearing the sound vibration, sitting in Brahma Murta straight back on one asana. You chant this one mantra, you receive it from a guru, first bona fide guru, receive the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, get initiated, get your Tulsi Japamala from Shri Guru. You sit on an asana and you chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra repeatedly. Don't get up for 2 hours, whatever it is. Take a sankalpa that I will not get up for 2 hours. And you chant nicely every day without fail. And then see what happens to lust, anger, greed, envy, pride. You hear Śrīmad Bhāgavatam from a self-realized guru. You hear Srila Prabhupada's presentation of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Read it, hear from other acharyas, who are pure devotees. Hear Acharya Vani and see what happens to your lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, false ego. And see what is happening to the lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, false ego of others who are not following this process. See in your workplace, look at your colleagues, look at the world, look at the news, and see what is happening, how people are behaving, how people are responding and reacting, and see how you respond and react. Follow this process for 1 year and see what happens. This is a fact. Lust goes down, envy goes down, anger level goes down, if it is followed properly. Medicine is effective if it is taken the way it is supposed to be taken. So, Srila Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj proved to the world that Krishna consciousness is a scientific process. He convinced them about the presence of the spiritual substance, the soul. And Srila Prabhupada was very pleased with this scientific preaching. It takes all sorts of devotees to make the family of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everybody has a role to play. Like in Vrindavan, everybody has a role to play. Some Manjari is making flower garlands. Some Manjari is cooking. Some Manjari is making the kajal for Radharani. Some Manjari is making the red paste to apply on the soles of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. Some Manjari is making sari for Radharani. Some Manjari is making jewels and ornaments for Radharani. Some Manjari is singing songs for the pleasure of Radha and Krishna. You see, everyone is playing their role. Similarly, in Srila Prabhupada's family, there are devotees who are doing scientific preaching. There are devotees who are doing deity worship. There are devotees who are doing Vaishnava Seva. There are devotees who are preaching boldly. There are devotees who are sitting in Vrindavan and doing 24-hour Nam Sankirtan. There are devotees who are distributing books. There are devotees who are earning money and donating it. There are devotees who are building temples. There are devotees who are organizing Cross Maidan, a Pandal festival, and different festivals. Now there is a Polish festival by His Holiness Indraduma Swami Maharaj. Like that, so many things are going on. It takes different types of devotees to make Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's family complete. Everybody has a role to play. We also have our role to play. When we sit in a Bhagavatam class and we do this, we doze off, we are conveying a very strong message to everyone that Bhagavatam class is not important. Come and sleep. When we are sitting with a straight back and we are hearing attentively the message, absorbing it and thinking how I can apply this in my life, then we are sending a strong message to the society of devotees that Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is very important. How Parishit Maharaj heard Śrīmad Bhāgavatam with such rapt attention. So whether we are speakers of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam or we are listeners of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, we all have a role to play. Even if we are not able to do any service, simply by sitting and hearing a Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class nicely or a Sunday feast lecture nicely in the association of devotees, we are doing such a great service by inspiring others in Shravanam. And when we sit attentively looking at the speaker, hearing eagerly, it inspires the speaker. And we are serving the speaker of Harikatha in performing Kirtan. So we are assisting in Kirtan and Shravanam just by sitting attentively with a straight back in a Bhagavatam class. Just see, everybody has a role to play. So we are reading about Pandav Arjun. Prabhupada ji writes he satisfied the Agni Dev by setting Khanda forest on fire. And what happened? Agni Dev gave a celestial weapon. Indra was angry when the forest was set on fire, and he took all the demigods and began fighting with Arjun. It was a great fight. Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna Rakhe ke. But Arjun was victorious. And Arjun also gave protection to Mayasur, a demon. And he presented Arjun with a beautiful Shankha conch called Devadatta. Lord Shiva also wanted to try the strength of Arjun. So once a devotee messaged me that Srila Prabhupada is writing all wrong things in the purport. Prabhupada is writing somewhere that Arjun defeated Lord Shiva in a fight. And he showed me that purport. And some people are criticizing Srila Prabhupada because of that. When in fact, It is mentioned in Mahabharata that there was a fight, but Arjun was not able to defeat Lord Shiva. He pleased Lord Shiva by putting up a good fight. Like that they were saying. So please try to understand the heart of the speaker of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Try to understand the heart of the author who is giving the purport, who is giving the commentary on Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Srila Prabhupada is a commentator on Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, isn't it? Srila Prabhupada's purports are non-different from the purports of any other acharyas. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given a tika. Srila Sanatana Goswami has given a tika. Srila Jiva Goswami has given a tika. How is Srila Prabhupada's tika, which we call purport in English, any different from the previous acharyas? So Srila Prabhupada's purports are also Shastra for all of us, because we are followers of Srila Prabhupada. So please try to understand the heart of the tikakar. Try to understand the heart of the commentator. Understand the spirit behind the letters. Don't just look at the letters. If you take everything literally, only Shabdartha, only Shabdartha, only Shabdartha, that is not the way to understand. Then why do we need devotees to translate transcendental literature? Why? Why should we read Prabhupada's translation of Bhagavad Gita? Let's just pick up any Sanskrit scholar who has knowledge of Sanskrit, and there are so many translations of Bhagavad Gita. Let's read one of them. Why do we care for Srila Prabhupada's translation? Because Srila Prabhupada is not giving just Shabdartha, not just a translation from Sanskrit to English, that any Sanskrit scholar can do. Why do we care about Srila Prabhupada's translations? We care about Srila Prabhupada's translations because Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee. He understands the heart of Shukdev Goswami. He understands the heart of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. He understands the heart of Shukdev Goswami in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. He understands the heart of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's why we read only Srila Prabhupada's translation. Because Srila Prabhupada is a pure devotee. And he is our founder Acharya. Prabhupada is not giving us just Shabdartha. Srila Prabhupada is giving us Bhavartha. Because he understands the Bhav of the author. Srila Prabhupada may say that Arjun defeated Lord Shiva, and that is giving a lot of pleasure to Lord Shiva. Because Arjun put up such a good fight, just like a child may wrestle with his father. And the father will fall down and say, yes, okay, you won. Now tell me what you want. You want Rasgulla, you want Gulab Jam, like that. So Arjun and Lord Shiva are fighting. Shivji is an incarnation of Krishna. He is a Guna avatar of Krishna. Shivji is not an ordinary demigod. He is not. Shivji is not an ordinary demigod. There are so many demigods, 33 crore demigods. Shivji is not just an ordinary demigod. Shivji, Brahmaji, these are Guna avatars. They are special expansions of Krishna. In that sense, actually, Arjun also is not ordinary Jiva. He's a Nitya Siddha coming directly from Krishna. As Nara and Rishi, the twins, Krishna appears as Nara and Rishi, and Arjun appears as Nara, and both are God. Both are God, Krishna, Arjun. Because Arjun is non-different. In his mood, in his bhav, he is one with Krishna in love. Karishya Vachanam Tava means what? Karishya Vachanam, I will do what you want. Arjun is a puppet of Krishna. So Arjun also is not ordinary Jiva. He's a Nitya Siddha. And when there was a fight between Lord Shiva and Arjun, Arjun fought. Arjun is in the form of a human being. Shivji is God. There is a fight between a human being and God. And Arjun, being empowered by Krishna, fought so bravely, so valiantly, so skillfully that he pleased Lord Shiva. And in pleasing Lord Shiva, Shivji accepts that, okay, this is great. Just like a father says, okay, to the child, this is amazing. Okay, I accept. You are very great. Now tell me what do you want? Like that. So similarly, Lord Shiva gave the Pashupati weapon to Arjun because he was pleased with Arjun's. That is what Prabhupada is saying. Don't take just the letter of the purport. Understand the spirit behind it. But people in Kali Yuga, they don't have intelligence, unfortunately. And they are not submissive. They just look at the letter and they fight. Criticize. But that is not good. You should understand the heart of a Vaishnava. Now look at this purport. Here Prabhupada is clarifying. Lord Shiva also wanted to try the strength of Arjun. And in the form of an aborigine, Lord Shiva met him. There was a great fight between the two. And at last, Lord Shiva was satisfied with Arjun and disclosed his identity. Lord Shiva was satisfied, Prabhupada is saying. Arjun prayed to the Lord. See, Prabhupada is clearly saying. But these people, they are going on Facebook, they go on YouTube, they challenge ISKCON devotees over this. That Prabhupada is writing is wrong. And they are challenging ISKCON devotees to open public debate. Come, this is Prabhupada's purport, fight with us. We will show you Mahabharata. Understand the heart of a Vaishnava. Understand the Bhavartha. Prabhupada is saying here. There was a great fight between Lord Shiva and Arjun, and at last Lord Shiva was satisfied with Arjun and disclosed his identity. And what did Arjun do? Arjun immediately prayed to Lord Shiva in all humbleness. Look at Prabhupada's words. Arjun prayed to Lord Shiva in all humbleness. And Lord Shiva, being pleased with him, Ashutosh, presented him with the Pashupat weapon. Like that. So you have to understand. They just read one thing. They have not read all of Prabhupada's books. They have not read all Prabhupada's purport. And they fight. Therefore, we should not get into all these things. In Kali Yuga, Tarko Pratishtha, we cannot establish the truth by just tarka and argument. Better to, like Prabhupada said, just give them some prasad. If they want to take prasad and Haribol. Prema Maitri, Kripa Upeksha. Such people, we should do Upeksha. We should just avoid them. Arjun received Dandastra from Yamaraj. He pleased all the devatas. This is the nature of a devotee, my dear friends. He pleases all the demigods. A real devotee will not offend the demigods. Why? Because demigods are Vaishnavas. Arjun pleased all the demigods. From Shivji, he received Pashupat weapon. From Agnidev, he received weapon. Even from that Mayasur, who was a demon, he received a Devadatta Shankha. Then from Yamaraj, Dandastra. From Varun Dev, Pashastra. Then from Kuver, Antardhanastra. Even Indra invited Arjun and gave him so many gifts in the heaven. So Indra also was pleased. He gave him the Vajra weapon and taught him military science, musical science in the heavenly planet, in Indralok. Then this is the most important thing I want to discuss about Arjun, my dear friends. Two interactions of Arjun where Arjun was tempted by circumstances. But being a pure devotee, Arjun did not fall victim. One happened in Swargalok. Urvashi, Prabhupada writes, Urvashi was a celebrated beauty. The society girls of heaven are lusty, and Urvashi was very eager to contact Arjun, who was the strongest human being. She met him in Arjun's room and expressed her desires, lusty desires. But Arjun sustained his unimpeachable character by closing his eyes before Urvashi and addressing her as mother of the Kuru dynasty and placing her in the category of his mothers, like Shachi, the wife of Indradev, like Madri, the mother of Nakul Sahadev, and like Kunti, his own mother. Arjun placed Urvashi in that category. Why? Because Urvashi enjoys with Indradev, correct? And who is Indra? He is Arjun's father. Indradev met Kunti Devi and gave her the child, Arjun. So the biological father of Arjun was Indradev, not Maharaj Pandu, it was Indradev. So Indra is Arjun's father. Urvashi enjoys with Indra. See the sabhyata, see the character of Arjun. If you read Mahabharata, this pastime is described in so much detail. Urvashi, she is so enamored by Arjun's handsome form and his chivalry, his power, his fame, his character, the way he speaks, the way he carries himself. She was very impressed. Because see, anybody who Krishna blesses becomes very attractive. And Arjun has the full Ashirvad, full blessings of Krishna, being a pure devotee. Bhakto sime sakha cheti. He is Bhakta and he is Sakha of Krishna. So he was very attractive. So Urvashi comes, approaches Arjun and says, I want to enjoy with you. And everything was favorable. But Arjun would not even look at Urvashi. He told her, you are mother. You are the consort of Indradev. And Indradev enjoys your dancing. And he's my father. So you are my mother. As much as Shachi is my mother. As much as Madri and Kunti are my mothers. I cannot have this entertain this thought about you, my dear mother. And Urvashi said that, listen, these rules, ethics and morals, they are applicable in the karma bhumi, earth. In earth is a karma bhumi. As you sow, so shall you reap. Please listen carefully, my dear. I know it is getting late, but please listen carefully. This is a very important siddhanta. The heavenly planets are meant for enjoyment. The hellish planets are meant for suffering. Earth planet is the karma bhumi. Urvashi explains in Mahabharata to Arjun that this earth is karma bhumi. There all these ethics, what is ethical, what is unethical, what is moral, what is immoral, one has to be very careful. But in this heavenly planet, it is a place for bhog. It is a place for enjoyment. Here we superior beings of the heavenly planets, we are not so much bound by these rules and regulations. Indra has sanctioned. Indra wants you to enjoy. Indra Dev wants me to enjoy. He has arranged for our meeting. Let us enjoy. Arjun says, no, you are mother. I cannot even entertain this thought. Please do not come close to me. Urvashi felt offended. She cursed Arjun to become impotent for 1 year and left. Hare Krishna. But Arjun did not budge. This is Arjun's greatness. And because he followed the path of dharma, that curse also came in handy. During the Agyatvas, during the year they were living incognito. And I have heard in some class by one of our acharyas only, maybe I read it somewhere, but I remember reading or hearing many years ago that Pururava and Urvashi also enjoyed together, right? That story is there in the 9th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and also 11th canto. So Pururava with Urvashi, that story is there. Arjun comes as a descendant of Pururava Maharaj. So for that reason also Arjun said that you are my mother, because you have sported with my ancestor, with my Purvaj. So therefore you are my mother. I will not enjoy with you. So he refused Urvashi. Urvashi cursed, but Chapta Shipta Hata Api Na Prati Kurvanti. A devotee doesn't take revenge. He tolerates, no problem. Another thing is, so now he was cursed by Urvashi to become impotent. So 1 year he had to face impotency. He became impotent. So when they were living in Agyatvas, incognito, in the kingdom of Maharaj Virat, Arjun utilized that and he became a eunuch for 1 year. And his name was Brihanala. And what was his job? His duty was to teach dance and music to the daughter of King Virat, whose name was Uttara. So he became the dance teacher to Uttara. And let's see what Prabhupada writes. When all the Pandavas lived incognito, he presented himself in the court of King Virat as an eunuch and was employed as the musical teacher of Uttara. And his name was Brihanala. As Brihanala, he fought. And that is another beautiful story. But so what happened was, Maharaj Virat, when he came to that, fighting took place, and incognito Arjun defeated all the Kauravas single-handedly. And the brother of Uttara became the chariot driver for Arjun, who was Brihanala in that fight. I'm trying to see what is Uttara's brother's name. I remember reading it somewhere. I'm not able to find it now. I'm not able to see. Anybody knows the name? Uttar Kumar. Okay. So he became the chariot driver and Arjun defeated everyone as Brihanala. So after that, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time since I read Mahabharata. Then King Virat, he recognizes the identity because the Agyatpas is over, the incognito year is over. He identifies all the 5 brothers and then he wants to give them some gifts. So he wants to give Brihanala, he wants to give Arjun his daughter in marriage because he protected the kingdom from the attack of the Kauravas. So Arjun refuses. He says, I cannot accept Uttara as my wife. Why? Because I taught her music and I am her teacher, and a teacher is a guru. Guru is like a father. I am a father to Uttara. I always saw her as my daughter. So she can get married to my son, but I cannot marry her. So then she can get married to my son. So then Uttara gets married to Abhimanyu. And Abhimanyu and Uttara's son is Maharaj Parikshit. Like that. So this, I like this pastime very much because it shows Arjun's self-control. Temptations were coming to him, but he was not tempted. This is very important. Prabhupada writes in the last paragraph, it is due to Arjun only that the great philosophical discourses of Bhagavad Gita were again spoken by the Lord on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. After disappearance of Lord Krishna, this is very painful. After disappearance of Lord Krishna, the message was brought by Arjun to Maharaj Yudhishthira. That is there in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. We will come to that in the future chapters. Again, Arjun visited Dwarka and all the widow wives of Lord Krishna lamented before him. He took all of them in the presence of Vasudeva and pacified them. Then Vasudeva Maharaj passed away and the Anteshti Kriya of Vasudeva Maharaj, the father of Krishna, was done by Arjun. Even Mahabharata describes Krishna also left behind a material form, and that also was cremated by Arjun only. And then Arjun was bringing all the wives of Krishna back, and those tribals attacked. And so Arjun did a lot of difficult services. This is the nature of the pure devotees, my dear friends. The greater the devotee, the more difficult the service they have to do. Everyone went back to Krishna, to the spiritual world, but Uddhav had to stay back. The Dwarkavasis got to live with Krishna for 100 years, but the Vrajvasis had to stay without Krishna. You see, the more advanced the devotee is, the greater their test. But that test brings out the glory of the great devotee. Bhishma Deva had to lie on a bed of arrows. So difficult. Parikshit Maharaj had to go through a curse for such a small mistake. But such is the nature of this world. This world is Dukkhalaya. And there is only sorrow and misery in this world. And as devotees, we have to be convinced about it. It is foolishness to think that this world is a place to enjoy. So, the sooner we are convinced that this world is a place of misery, the more quickly we will understand the message of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and Bhagavad Gita. As long as we are convinced that this world is, after all, not such a bad place. This world is a place where I can get some enjoyment. Like that devotee who was saying that my hero from Bhagavatam is Ajamil, because he enjoyed sense gratification also and then went back to God also. As long as we have attitude like that, we will not really understand the message of Bhagavad Gita and Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, because Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam are understood by those who are akinchan, by those who are seeking the essence, those who are Paramhamsas. It is a Paramhamsa, meant for Paramhamsas, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. It is a Paramhamsa Samhita. As long as we think this material world is a place of enjoyment, tell me, how can we really open our heart and hear the message of Bhagavad Gita or Śrīmad Bhāgavatam? Arjun lost all hope of being happy in this world. And then he heard Bhagavad Gita. Parishit Maharaj gave up even eating, sleeping, and even his clothes, everything. Just he wore a kopin and he's sitting without food, water, and sleep. Even sleep he gave up for the last 7 days. Not that I have only 7 days, let me just enjoy everything. I know so many of my patients, when they are diagnosed with a terminal illness, they break their 401k and they withdraw all the money so that just before they die, whatever little time they have, few months, they can enjoy and they can fulfill all their desires. One patient had a desire to stay in a 7-star hotel. I have never done that, but I think there is one in Dubai and it is ridiculously expensive. I don't know exactly, I don't know if it is true or not, but I have heard it is like more than $10,000 per night or something like that. And he wanted to do that. So he broke his 401k and went to Dubai to experience that 7-star hotel experience. So anyway, so people have these desires. They feel that they can still enjoy in this material world. As long as we have this attitude of enjoyer, bhokta, bhav, we cannot understand Bhagavatam. We cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. Parishit Maharaj understood Śrīmad Bhāgavatam because he had lost all hope of being happy in this material world. He had no desire to enjoy this material world. When did Chitraketu Maharaj receive instructions from Angira Muni and Shripad Narad Muni? When he lost all hope of being happy in this world. I have tried everything. I have 1 crore wives. I finally got a son, Harsha Shok, but nothing gave me sustained happiness. He lost hope of being happy in this material world. All hopes. Hare ko Harinam. Otherwise, no. If we have some hope that I can enjoy in this world, theek hai, wo sab theek hai, dukhalaya shashvatam theek hai, I have heard, but I am fortunate. I have got Sukriti, I have got pious credits, and I can enjoy in this world. Not possible. When I was in Vrindavan, in Kartik, heard this, there was one businessman in Delhi, a true story, husband, wife, and their one son. Son was 21 years old. Very, very pious Vaishnava family. And every week, once a week, this businessman would come from Delhi to Vrindavan and conduct a bhandara. He would serve the sadhus, arrange nice feast, including sweet dish, kheer also, puri, everything for sadhus. He would spend thousands of rupees every week. He would come to Vrindavan, stay in Vrindavan for 1 day, do sadhu seva, Vaishnava seva, and then go back to Delhi. He had a business. And he did this for many, many years. And the sadhus also began to respect him, because when you do a service for a long time, that is the proof of your character. It is very easy to do something for a short time, few months, few weeks, even few years. So many devotees, they come to me, they take shelter, they say, I am chanting 16 rounds, following 4 regular principles. In 1 year, they are gone. 2 years, they are gone. 3 years, they are gone. Where is the test of time? Where is the test of time? So test of time is also important. When you do something for a long time, that is a proof of your character. So he did it for many, many years. And he won the faith, confidence, heart of the Vrajvasis, that yes, every week he comes religiously from Delhi, once a week does seva and goes back in the evening. Very nice. There is one Akinchan Babaji in Vrindavan who never leaves Vrindavan. He has taken a lifelong vrat that I will do Nirantar Vrajvas. I will never leave Vrindavan, Akhanda Vrajvas. And everybody knows this, that he will never leave Vrindavan. Now, once this businessman, he wanted to start a new business. Here, he was making a lot of profits, and he was using major part of his profits for Santa Sadhu Seva also in Vrindavan. But now he wanted to expand his business, something. So he organized a very nice kirtan and katha and satsang before starting the new business. In his factory, he organized in Delhi a nice satsang. And he requested all the sadhus of Vrindavan that he used to feed every week, he used to serve every week. He requested them that next week the program is in Delhi just once because I'm starting a new business. Please come. Please come to Delhi. So all the sadhus agreed. But this one sadhu, everybody knew he will never leave Vrindavan. But when the businessman requested him that, Babaji Maharaj, will you come just for a few hours to Delhi? I have arranged for a bus for all the sadhus. I will put all of you in the bus. Come there. There will be kirtan, some katha. We'll have nice prasad. And then the bus will bring you back. But I want all of you to place your lotus feet on the property before I start the business. That is my desire. So please come. Babaji, will you come? He said, yes, I will come. Everybody was surprised. They could not believe that this Babaji has taken a vow. He will never put a step outside Vrindavan. How he is going. The bus came. All the sadhus from Vrindavan, they got on the bus. And this Babaji Maharaj also got on. And the saints in the bus were telling him, Babaji, pata hai na, we are going to Delhi. We are leaving Vraj Mandal. Are you sure you want to sit? Radhesham, Radhesham. He didn't say anything. He just sat. The bus went to Delhi. There was kirtan, there was some katha. Then there was nice prasad being served. They all sat in the rows. Actually, the ideal way to serve prasadam, let me ask a question. Which is better? To sit in pangat, to sit in rows, or to have a table and distribute it to all the Vaishnavas? What was Prabhupada's standard? Raise your hand if you know. Kirta Sundari Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Yes, Prabhupada's standard is to sit in that pangat, in that line, and down, one should sit down and honor prasad.
Yes, and the Vaishnavas should serve. You sit in rows and the Vaishnavas will serve. Prabhupada said, there is one devotee, he does standards for ISKCON. So whenever there is a question, what is the ideal standard? Then to hear Prabhupada's room conversations, Prabhupada's lectures, Prabhupada's purports, and find what Prabhupada, what Shastra says, what our previous acharyas have said, and to give the standards to the management in ISKCON. This devotee does this. His name is Deenbandhu Prabhu. He does this seva, standards for ISKCON. So he did this research. What is the ideal standard? Prabhupada once said that to have a table with different bhoga, with different prasad items, devotees taking plates, coming in rows, and we serving devotees like that, and then devotees like a buffet, devotees going and sitting and eating. Prabhupada said making devotees stand in line with a plate in their hand is prison culture. Prabhupada said, these are Vaishnavas, these are not some jail inmates that you make them stand with plates in their hand in a line. No, let them sit comfortably. You go to them and you serve them. That is the Vaishnava way. So this pangat, all the sadhus were made to sit in Delhi and they were served nicely. And this sadhu also honored prasadam. And then the businessman came, fell at the feet of the Babaji Maharaj, thanked him that you never leave Vrindavan but for our sake. You came out of Vrindavan to Delhi. Thank you very much. Now we will, all of you can sit in the bus and we'll take you back to Vrindavan. Please give your blessings. And this Babaji Maharaj smiled and he said that Vrindavan Dham is calling you. Vrindavan Dham is very pleased with you and Vrindavan Dham is calling you. So this husband, wife, they smiled. They didn't understand the deep meaning because they said Vrindavan Dham is calling. Well, every week we go, both of us go every week. And every weekend we have a bhandara, we serve the Brajvasis. So what is Vrindavan Dham is calling? Well, we go anyway every week. So they didn't understand the deep meaning, and the sadhu went back with the other sadhus back to Vrindavan that same evening. And after this Bhandara, this big program that happened, the next day in a road accident, the 21-year-old son died. And he was the only child to this couple. And he was a very nice devotee. He was chanting Harinam. He also had a lot of ruchi in Santa Seva, Sadhu Seva, Vrindavan Dham Seva, and he died. And then this husband-wife, they were like in their late 50s and enough money, and the only attachment they had was their son. And they were thinking that all this expansion, business ventures, everything we are doing for our son. Now the son is no more. And what are we doing here in this Delhi? So let's just sell everything, our house, our property, our business, everything. We have more than enough money. Let's use it for Santa Seva, Dham Seva, and let's move to Vrindavan. And they left everything and they moved to Vrindavan forever to do bhajan, never to leave Vrindavan, husband and wife. And then they met that Babaji. And that Babaji said, you remember I told you that Vrindavan Dham is calling you? This was the meaning. Vrindavan Dham is calling you. When Vrindavan Dham calls, this is the kripa you get. But don't feel sorry for your son. Your son, Radha and Krishna have taken your son, Radha Shyamsundar have taken your son back to Golok Vrindavan before you. Please accept my assurance, my word, that your son has gone back to Godhead. Now, Radha Shyamsundar want you to stay in Vrindavan and do bhajan here and make your life perfect. So this is the power of Santa Kripa, Sadhu Kripa. And this couple was able to come to Vrindavan and do bhajan now so many years there in Vrindavan, even today, only because they lost all hope of being happy in this material world. All the money, all the property, all the business success, everything, it can just go away in one moment. Everything they had, everything they were doing was for their son. And now son is dead and gone. What do they do? Like in the mood of Chitraketu Maharaj, now they were completely open to the idea of taking complete shelter of Radha Shyamsundar, which they did. So really, this path of Krishna consciousness, the message of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, message of Chaitanya Charitamrita Bhagavad Gita, can deeply enter the heart of that person who has lost all hope of enjoying in this material world. Our main disease is that we want to enjoy. We forget that Krishna is the enjoyer. Bhoktaram yagatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. Krishna is the enjoyer. So like that, Arjun had no desire to enjoy. Karishya vachanam tava. Only wants to do what Krishna wants to do. Therefore, he is a Mahabhagavat. Therefore, he is a pure devotee. We'll continue from verse number 22 next time. There are few more comparisons of Maharaj Parishit to great personalities, and then the chapter will end. So we'll stop here today. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Sorry for going over time. Let me quickly look at the chat box. Okay, nothing. Okay. So if there are no more questions, we can end. Narari Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you again. It's a wonderful class. Prabhu, you were talking about the concept of sleep and like how a devotee should be so attentive in Bhagavatam class. And you also mentioned like Arjuna, he was Gudakesh. Prabhu, I just want to know like some practical suggestion, because like I also have this problem because, sometimes not having sufficient rest and, so many other responsibilities, like you sometimes doze off during Bhagavatam class or during Japa or anything like that. How do we, overcome this problem, Prabhu? Like,
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Narahari Deva Prabhu. Some practical ways is, as you said, if we are sleep deprived, naturally it is difficult to keep awake. So one practical solution is to make sure we get sleep. 6 hours sleep is more than enough for a sadhak. So we should try to get 6 hours of sleep. We should plan accordingly. Recently, I was in Chicago, and there Shyam Sundar Prabhu, temple president of ISKCON Houston, he spoke, he gave a class, and Shyam Sundar Prabhu was telling that his Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, who is your Guru Maharaj also, right? Hare Krishna.
He's also like my Guru Varga. Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Yeah. So I thought you are a disciple of Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Somehow I thought like that. Sorry. So yeah, Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, he would say that your spiritual life depends on what time you go to bed and what time you wake up. So Shyam Sundar Prabhu was saying that his Guru Maharaj, Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami, would emphasize that you sleep early. 9:30 you should sleep so that you can wake up at 3 o'clock. Tamal Krishna Maharaj would say like that you should wake up at 3 o'clock and start chanting Hare Krishna. And before Mangalarti, you should get many rounds done so that you have a very strong start to your day. So 3 o'clock, he would say you must get up. So sleeping early, so we get good rest. And anyway, the best sleep is available between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. That is the best period to sleep. So we better get going. It's 10:10. So that's one. Secondly, one must understand the importance of bhajan, importance of chanting, importance of hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Many times we sleep because we don't have the Mahatva Buddhi. We don't understand the importance of what we are doing. We don't sleep when we are writing an examination paper. We don't sleep during a job interview because we have Mahatva Buddhi. We understand that, oh, this is super important, what I'm doing. But when we don't have Mahatva Buddhi in a particular thing, then we tend to doze off because we don't have importance. We don't understand the importance of what we are doing. Oh, Bhagavatam class, every day I hear, it's nothing. No, that was not how Arjun heard or Parishit Maharaj heard. Or that was not how Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami heard from Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. So we have to hear in the spirit of the parampara. We have to understand the importance. Number one. Number two, if we feel sleepy practically, then we should stand up. Just go to a corner and stand so that you don't sleep. You're able to hear. So these are some practical things. Number one, to make sure we get adequate rest. Number two, to understand the importance of what we are doing, to have Mahatva Buddhi in what we are doing. Number three, if we are feeling sleepy, then we should stand up or, just wash our face with some cold water and come back. Things like that. And ultimately, what I have found very useful is to eat less. By eating more, we tend to fall sleepy, we become lazy, and there is more mode of ignorance from overeating. Srila Prabhupada would say that 50% food, 25% water, 25% empty, which means we should have still capacity to eat more when we stop eating. I can eat more, but I'm not going to, because quarter of the stomach should be empty. 1/4 stomach should be empty. So we should not eat till we are completely full. And also skipping dinner, I have personally found it to be very useful in keeping awake during japa in the morning, during Bhagavatam class in the morning, and for waking up early. I have seen when I eat dinner, I'm not able to wake up. So for me, that's what works, to skip dinner and to eat little less. If we eat little less, we are able to be more alert and function more. Stuffing the body with more food simply leads to pramadavastha, simply leads to mode of ignorance. So these are some practical things, Prabhuji. I hope it is okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. So